Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali. Woo, my goodness gracious. I am re-recording this because I did it the first time and I forgot to plug in the microphone. Oh my goodness gracious. This is the reason why in writing my third novel, I have to stay off of social media as much as possible because you're human, you're going to make mistakes. This one I don't have to apologize for. So, Michelle Obama, according to Megyn Kelly, is sending out that forewarning that she might run for president because Trump scares her, okay? And I'm just like, are you serious? Are you serious? You called a mentally sexually abused boy a brave young lady because he's been talked into his believing his fears about life, and so that he would require being put on hormone blockers, they call them, but it's just destroying your body's ability to do what it naturally would do. And the only way to, finish this insanity is by being castrated, by being sterilized permanently. And then oh my goodness gracious. And she is scared of Trump. Now, I'm not for, and I don't vote for Demon A or Demon B. We must separate. As the Most High Commander, he gave out the perfect instructions. Leave the vengeance to him. Just get away from the devil, okay? If you are representing the principality of the devil, doesn't matter what color you are not for Black us. To be echoing Biden? What? The guy, there are no black women that he has put out all over the place who are not married to some white dude or just a straight up lesbian. And that is an obvious strategy, a war strategy. You don't win wars by always keeping things the same way that you do. Racism is not accidental. It is their plan to escape the wrath of the Most High. And she's not afraid of her own husband? It's who's like, threatening that I love touching or dreaming about men. Honey, you done more than dream about them. And there's a couple in the grave who, if they could talk, boy, what they would be witnesses for. And so when you try to find the different things that are just the fact, it's not easy to find them. But one of them I know about is the NDAA, which Obama signed into law. And it allows indefinite detention all around the globe in the United States to supposedly American citizens. That's a whole nother can of worms to open up there. Here, and there's no charge needs to be brought against you. No, trial ever has to be started. They can just sequester you in any manner that they feel like doing forever. They're just waiting until they convince enough people that we're the poster child of wokery, so that they could jump off chaos, violence, whatever the heck they can. And then they'll start up the NDAA, which also can just take everything you own from right out of your house. So all of us preppers out there, oh well, you just put in all that effort for nothing. And it's still law. I'm like, tyrannical, anybody? And here she is hugging up on Bush? How could she not know about the Bushes? And there she is hugging George Bush, the one who suddenly stopped reading The Pet Goat that he was reading to black children when he got the word that the Twin Towers had been attacked by terrorists. Terrorists. I mean, 9/11? Come on now. If you don't know the real story about all of that, email me at theradicalsister@outlook.com. And I don't know. I don't really have time to find all those links because I got stuff I got to do. But go to 25,000yearcycle.org and support your warriors. Those who are going to tell you everything, because I'm going to tell you everything in this year. Again! Again. Let's get to it. So homegirl, and my homegirl actually, but she's not afraid of a husband. Not that he's running for president. He can't run for president again. But at the same time, the dude was the first cold, brutal, genocidal hand in ensuring we're all going out. All the presidents, they're all on, it's like I said, it's Demon A or Demon B. Right? But under Obama, I find this interesting that, as I said, you can't research stuff like you know it was once reported. Like I know it was once just put out there under Obama. He had increased the allowable drinking level by 15,000%. I have a share in my archives going over that, but I just don't have time to look through them. I can, but I don't have that time. But in the meantime, this is what I found. Inconvenient low-dose radiation science axed under Obama administration. It's from Forbes. Why is it inconvenient? And this is a 6-year-old article, 2017. Why would it be inconvenient to be studying the harm of low-dose radiation? The IAEA admitted right after Fukushima that there's no safe level of radiation. Low-dose radiation is lethal. But they just, no, we can't study. That's because it's after Fukushima. And people were probably beginning to ask questions about the safety, because these dudes were lying, saying things like, oh, it's the same thing as what's in a banana. BS. All right, here we go. EPA, real shortly after Fukushima, nukes radiation rules. And I'm going to put these links so you can read them, because these types of websites, first off, they're all going quiet now about man-made radiation. So I wonder, and I don't want to point anybody out because I'm grateful that their information is even there. But I'm just saying it makes me wonder the reasons why they're suddenly going silent, and then the whole jabberoonie thing, when I know that ain't causing all the glowing Pacific waters, is being, associated with the reason for the surge and all kinds of maladies, which I'll get into more. But EPA nukes radiation rules. And this one is where they're allowing hundreds of thousands times more radiation in disasters than the agency had previously allowed. And so that would mean that right after Fukushima, that was the precedence for Obama saying, I'm going to increase the allowable drinking level, and I'm going to nix the fact that there's no, safe level of low-dose radiation. Okay, and this one is also from Enviro Reporter. Millions of South California, I can't highlight it. He has it set up so you can't highlight it. But here it just says that they found Fukushima radiation right on up there. High radiation readings in Santa Monica and Los Angeles air, and it didn't stop. Fukushima, the perfect crime. I'm not the only person who knows what the heck is going on. It's just a conclusion. However, it's really weird that almost 13 years later, I'm the only black person examining the details of this globally impacting far worse than just indefinite detention tyrannical crime. Here you go. Radioactive fallout has now reached Southern California. This was the website Energy News, which, oh my goodness, did they have. I thank Step Brother who gave me this particular platform here, Wayback Machine, and so that I could just skip around and find all sorts of stuff that they make it impossible right now. You just can't. Including this one right here, where Fukushima is much bigger than Chernobyl. If you talk to people, they just have an automatic assumption Chernobyl's bigger. But in my book even, I explain the exact mathematics of why Chernobyl is like a lit match compared to the Death Star. And this isn't even my meme. This is from someone on Facebook, The Greatest Talk Show. And so, as I say, I'll put all these in there. In the other video, I explain this stuff more, but it's not necessary in a share in order to get you to pay attention to the fact that Michelle Obama is full of crap. And so here we have on a Green Road Journal, another place where they've quieted down. I appreciate them keeping the information there. I wonder how long that's going to be there. I'm just saying, that's why I got the books, okay? EPA raised allowable radiation in drinking water by 27,000 times. New higher radioactive heavy metal poison in drinking water allows 1 in 1.7 people to get cancer. That's a crazy amount. And this is another way I'm trying to respond to Sister Lashide's request that I speak on the fact that everybody at her husband's job is coming down sick, and everyone's been noticing how everyone's coughing. On the share I took down, I mentioned the orange skies. They even had their weather forecasters consulting expert scientists who then went on to not say a truthful word, exposing the level of what we're dealing with by even daring to mention radiation. But this is something that cesium causes, where it changes the bandwidth of light. Cesium is an isotope that's so short-lived that they often use it as a measure of how radioactive a place is. When you find cesium in an environment, you know it's a recent radiological catastrophe. And nobody's put a sarcophagus over Fukushima. It's still emitting and still fissioning all this crap. And it was 6 reactors as opposed to Chernobyl's 1. And Chernobyl, they shut down. It didn't actually melt into the mantle of the earth. But with Fukushima, 3 cores melted out of their buildings, past the concrete flooring, into the earth. And this was today's just geological survey depiction of all the quakes that have happened. These are really big ones. This one's like 6 point something up there in Alaska. Here in South America, another huge one. It's just off the charts. This is over a span of 24 hours. This is what happens when you have 3 cores from nuclear power plants, and Fukushima was the largest nuclear power plant facility on the planet, and they melt down into our Earth. And so, yes, of course, everyone's coming down with colds. There's people who are contracting lung cancer, even though they never smoked. So this is something that they're going to have to keep coming up with excuses to explain it, even though they can't explain the friggin' glowing ocean. Did that get jammed? No, of course not. Is it the tectonic plates? Those get jammed? All the airplanes crashing, and it's the private airplanes because they're not as heavily regulated. People can barely afford their little putt-putt Cessnas. And they are not going to pay any daggone attention to some governmental regulation that says you have to run your engine for 48 hours straight. How much airplane fuel is that? And check for any inconsistencies, loose bolts that might have the door flying off and everybody's freaking out, or might impact your contained oxygen system so that everybody on the South African plane or whatever, Ghanaian plane, almost suffocate. I mean, these are real stories. You can look them up. Okay? Plagued by that never-ending cough, what experts say you could do to beat your stinking cough. They're never going to tell you all the facts, and you will get them only on 25000yearcycle.org. If other people are either too highly miseducated to even know about radiation, so they'll explain it in depth, let alone construct a healing modality for you that takes that into account, then they aren't about to be a rescue for you. And that's what we need. Right? Kathy Brown, diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. I don't know who this sister was, but 63, I know she ain't wanting to be clocking out at 63. Right? And trust and believe. The World Health Organization, all the way back in 2014, was saying there's an imminent global cancer disaster. And here, suddenly they changed it. I remember I used to be able to look up that they said there'd be a 70% increase rate of cancer. And then I would also say, but they don't give any reason. So you're telling me people are aging more? Aging more? No. The rates of cancer are going through the roof, so people are dying faster. And there would have been suddenly, since Fukushima, there's this massive increase, and it's all reflecting aging, but people have been living longer due to better access to healthy foods. Now, all of a sudden, they're aging. Well, please, let's talk to all the dead by the billions of creatures that came up out of the Pacific first and foremost. And then we could talk about how just aging is, because these are young people dying. Young people, not just old people, all right? And lifestyle factors. What's changed? You eating Fukushima radiation in your food as allowed by Biden through the FDA. And so Michael Strahan, I have no respect for Michael Strahan, right? He just bedbug non-par. And I feel for his daughter. I don't wish anybody any harm. I'm sorry that she has brain cancer, without a doubt. But I'm just saying, for Michael Strahan, his allegiance is to his white zaddy, all right? Not even to his own progeny, because he would have given them a country. He would have given them a nation. I don't mean the U.S. The U.S. ain't nothing, right? It's killing all its own. But he would have given them a principality of pure blackness so that they would have the might of melanin in them. And they don't. It was a robbery on his part, not on ours, on his part. He's a fool. But I'm just saying, he's giving her all the usual treatments, including chemotherapy, that is just, whoa. I mean, if he knew what he was doing, he would think that he hated his daughter. I'm just saying. This is my Elements external drive. I have 3 external drives. The last one I got has got like massive space on it. But here, this is one of the old ones where the videos are from 2017. And I could put in all of these where it's just proof positive that people have been checking out in massive quantities long before the Jabadoonie and long before the, contagion, chicken little, start running around with your head chopped off. Be terrified of just Trump. Michelle gonna be terrified of Trump, not terrified of herself, because she agrees to be used. She was on the Jesse Jackson privilege team, where she, according to the report, married Obama on purpose because she was meant to just be a beard. She's like a professional beard, according to the report. I'm just saying. I could scroll through here and put the different words. Let's see. I wouldn't use this towards Black Us, but I'm just saying all the dead stuff out there and then gone. And this is just one hard drive. I'm just saying, it's just, it's sad. It's sad. It's staring us right in our face. And these devils are going to do their best to make it seem like we are the poster children of insanity. Woke is past tense. We are waking up. We are about life and more abundantly. Woke is dead because these folks aren't even pondering what they're doing to the children. I mean, you can't even say the name, but the guy with the hit in front of his name? This is the type of rhetoric that he would spew and make it seem as if it was some sort of reasonable and rational deduction. That's what they're doing to Black Us with friggin' agents, operatives, in my conclusion. That's what she is, right? To get it done. And she not scared about Obama and his AFRICOM? I mean, good Lord, what it really does. What we do know comes from leaked documents and fragmentary evidence like the dozens of secret killer drone bases, the many murdered civilians, or the bring your mistress to work parties the AFRICOM commanders have on Thursdays, complete with giraffe liver pate hors d'oeuvres. Oh my goodness. And this is what the U.S. military calls it. U.S. Africa Command with partners counters transnational threats and malign actors, strengthen security forces in response to crisis in order to advance U.S. national interests and promote regional security, stability, and prosperity. What does that mean to the devil himself and his black people? Right? I remember watching as Africa closed up, where they started opening this, misinformation offices in order to control what they were finding in Africa, which was the toxicity of those jabs in Tanzania, I do believe, and then also Mafuni, I believe was his name, the president of Tanzania, who sent off a goat to be tested, and some mangoes or some sort of fruit, papaya, I think it was, and they all came back positive, right? These people are not our friends. They're going to hide the truth. They're going to do everything they can to beguile us off the straight path. That's why I bought all the books I did, because I saw they were scrubbing the internet so that you can't find this information at all. And I wrote my books so we could see that your sister coming screaming to save you, that I'm going to just imagine what they're doing to us. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it down so you can find this information, which they hid on Amazon. Which reminds me, I came looking to see if I could find The Crime of Chernobyl. This is the book that let me know. It wasn't like 9,000 people who died in Chernobyl, but, I got to copy that name because it's just hard to remember how to spell that. But when you come on in and you just type in The Crime of Chernobyl, you don't get, that's an exact title, but you don't get that. You get stuff that they're not scared about you buying this stuff, okay? So when you want to find out about Fukushima, the only way you're going to find is you have to find a truthful warner who then puts in his reference sources, his or her reference sources, and that's how I just keep locating one after another. So it's in the books. You need the books. And I'm letting you know, my book, Furnace of Affliction, is the most definitively up-to-date and healing just listing of all the remedies I found for getting radiation out your body, so that if you got a cold and you got all, and you don't know now, it would be impossible not to have absorbed enough radiation from Fukushima, from all the other sources, that it is impacting all of us, right? But that's why I was like, I got to write it down and I got to keep reading so that I have a library right here with me. So when you do put in his name, then it all comes up. But not before that, right? And these two little reviews right here, one of them, this is how freaking picayune these dudes are, okay? One of these reviews is mine. If you are telling the truth, I ain't mad at you. Just like the Most High says, I'm not the Most High, but he said that if you are a good individual, it's not. He's coming for the principalities. If you are hugging the principality of whiteism, you're out, you're gone, right? But if you are about truth and 100% truth, then I ain't mad at you, okay? But see, when you try to see more reviews, there's none. It was just after I talked about it. They might come in even again and put more negative reviews. Person didn't even probably buy the book, but they did not want 5 out of 5 stars up on here. They did the same thing with my book on top of hiding it. Okay, you can read the reviews, make sure it's a verified purchase. I don't think they want to give me $50 on Amazon, right? You can go over to 25,000yearcycle.org and get it there. $35 for the printed version and $25 for the ebook, right? But I'm just saying, these people are wild. And we who submit to the one and only, we're the best chance we all have. All right? I love you. Straight Black family pride is our map to forever. And I thank you for your comments, for subscribing, and for donating or purchasing our products. Peace and blessings.